All right, you guys, welcome back. This means you made it through lesson number 1. You learned all about description, you learned about sequence, and you learned about compare and contrast. So now today on this lesson, we're going to be learning about cause and effect and problem and solution. And at the end of this lesson, you'll do a quiz, kind of like an exit ticket, to see if you can master all 5 text structures altogether. So now let's start a review on cause and effect. So before I jump right in, I want to do quickly show you what we learned already on our lesson 1. So we have description, which was fact, 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 or who, what, where, when, why, and how, right? And then we had our order and sequence. We had order, sequence, time, order, sequence, steps, order, sequence, time, order, sequence, steps. And then the last one we learned was compare and contrast, same and different. Compare and contrast, same and different. So now we're going to go into cause and effect. And I think of cause and effect, I think of dominoes, the game where you stack them all against each other and you knock it over and the rest fall down. So that's what I do. I say cause, I push the domino, and the effect, they all fall. So cause and effect. Cause and effect. Good. So, in cause and effect, you ask yourself, is this piece of writing explaining why something happened? Why did the dominoes fall? If the text was telling us why it fell, we would be learning or reading about a cause and effect text structure. Okay. Sometimes it's even backwards, right? It's explaining what the effects are that will happen from something. You can kind of relate that to the world right now, right? There's a sickness going around, so the effect of that is that we're all home. So, like we did last time, I'm going to read the first sentence, and then you are going to pause the video and finish reading it. Pause the video and finish reading it. We're thinking about how and why this text is considered cause and effect. Let's read the first sentence together. Head injuries account for between 4% and 22% of all soccer injuries. Read the rest on your own. Pause it now. All right, if you didn't pause it, go back, rewind it a little bit, pause and read that section. Here we go. So what made that piece that you just read a cause and an effect structure? Well, we know that the cause was that 2 players hit their heads, right? 2 players hitting heads. The cause, remember, is the action of what's happening. So me knocking over the dominoes is the cause. In this case, it's 2 players hitting their heads. Another one was a ball hitting someone else's head, right? Those were both things that could happen that could lead to an effect. So what is the effect of 2 players hitting their heads or a ball hitting someone else's head when it's very close to their head when the other player is kicking? The effect is head injuries, right? So we have our cause, they hit their heads. The effect, head injuries. Cause, a ball hit their head. The effect, head injuries. Does this make sense? Hope so. All right, so now we're going to jump to problem solution. That's what I think about that one. I like to make a confused face and point to my head, problem. And then when I found the solution, problem, solution. So a problem and solution is very similar to cause and effect, except for there is an actual solution to whatever the problem was. Okay? So what you're thinking about is this piece of writing you're telling you how a problem can be solved? How a problem can be solved. So let's read this one and think. Remember, we're thinking, what's the problem? What's the solution? So let's read the first sentence together and then pause the video and you read the rest. Here we go. Professional soccer players head the ball thousands of times during their careers. Doctors are unsure. Pause, continue reading. Pause, continue reading. All right, if you didn't pause it, go back, read it again. All right, what was the problem of that passage? And now, what is the solution or a possible solution, right? What is the problem? Head injuries during soccer. That's a problem, right? All these people getting hurt and hit in the head is causing head injuries, and that is a problem. So what is a solution to these head injuries during soccer. Let's go back. This one made it really clear. It literally said, what are some possible protections? And it gave you those right here. So read those to yourself for a second, pause it. So now that you've reread those, let's look. We have our head injuries during soccer. So here's our solutions. You can have proper instruction. You can have the correct size of the balls, right? There's different size balls depending on the age of your league. And then the no heading rule, especially for young players. Maybe you take heading away because that's causing a problem for head injuries. So these are all solutions to that problem. Everyone got it? Okay, I'm going to stop there. But remember, you are now going to write down 3 things you learned from this video. Okay, 3 things. What is 3 things you learned? You can refer back to the review I did at the beginning. You can give me something about cause and effect and something about problem and solution. Okay, right below, go write down the 3 things you learned.